But that's the type of thing then where if we've got this, say this is our full bore sound, then we could have that by nature of it being the Triple X is a bit more cutting.
Sure.
Because I thought, we could go proper vintage and dig out the roost, but that might just be a bit too much, or a bit too nubbum.
So we said we'll go through do all the tracks as we've just done with this guitar. Yeah,
I think so. If you're up for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Right. So, which one do you fancy next?
Whatever's next in the directory. Let the gods of fate decide. With a gentle touch.
Oofed. Next is STE.
You win big dodo this time.
Yes, you know you've been recorded.
Tell me what point it's supposed to be.
Mustard.
Alright, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just relax and answer them as simple as you can. Rick Derringer or Jim Johnson?
Jim
I
Johnson.
have a Rick Derringer, but I don't know who either are.
Johnny Mnemonic or Johnny Utah?
Johnny Utah.
Jason Voorhees or Fred Krueger?
Jason
Freddy
Voorhees.
Krueger.
R2D2 or Johnny Five?
R2D2.
Johnny Five.
Sax or synth?
I'm gonna go for synthesizer.
Lost Boys or Near Dark?
Lost Boys.
The Thing or Big Trouble in Little China?
The Thing.
Thing doesn't have Egg Shen.
Dark Angel or Angel Heart?
Angel Heart.
Dark Angel, but I don't know what either are.
Religionen, die halten das Ei für ein Symbol der Seele.
Fighting drug dealers from outer space.
Dark Angel, that's the only reason I went for it.
Congratulations, you are not replicants.
Do you remember Adam and Joe? Yeah, they said they went to like a charity outdoor screening of Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
And Brian Blessed was there, a few rows behind him, and he just shouted along with his lines during the bit.
Didn't seem to do anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear the.
Worst movie I've ever seen. Dreamcatcher. Morgan Freeman's eyebrows in that film as well, something to behold.
The Lake House. It was a time travel romantic comedy with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, and it just made me angry. I was shouting at it while I was watching it that it wouldn't make any sense in any of the things. There was a house that they both lived in at different periods of time, and they had a romance over, like through time travel. It was weird. Like she'd leave a note. I can't remember which way around they were, but I think he was in the past and he'd leave a note, and then she'd find it in the future. And
Seriously, check out Morgan Freeman's eyebrows in that movie. It's fucking insane.
We have an open discussion around riffs and structures and stuff like that, and maybe that riff would sound better there or whatever, but Chris definitely thinks of the riffs, and I maybe suggest actually repeat that section, cut that riff in half, it sounds a bit better.
But up until that point, I've been putting those in just to flesh them out a bit, so I'll keep doing that consistently.
Right, okay then. Cool, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Do you care much about what the vocal content is?
I care about the tune of the vocals. I don't really care about the content as long as it's not.
As long as the melody's right.
Yeah, and as long as it's not overly weird. But yeah, bass and vocals is very much Matt's thing. This time round, we didn't hear any vocals until we got here anyway.
Woke before my time.
What have you done? Brought the pain to your chosen son, reaping havoc in his name. Awoken giant, the monster came.